The hotel ballroom in London hummed with the low thrum of journalists, publicists, and camera flashes. It was the night of the biggest television awards of the year. Caitriona Balfe, in an elegant emerald green gown, glided past the photographers, smiling, waving, every inch the graceful star the public adored. Somewhere across the room, Sam Heughan was doing the same, only his tuxedo jacket was unbuttoned, his bow tie hanging loose, and his easy grin hinted at a man who enjoyed chaos just as much as charm. When a reporter asked Caitriona, "What's it like working with Sam after all these seasons?" she gave a rehearsed answer about professionalism. But later, off stage, in a quieter corner of the VIP lounge, she leaned toward a small circle of trusted friends and journalists. "You really want to know?" she said, lowering her voice just enough to make them lean in. "His worst habit? The one that drives everyone mad?" The group gasped theatrically. Caitriona smiled, a conspiratorial spark in her eyes. "He hoards tea bags," she said. "Dozens. Hundreds. Every variety you can imagine. His trailer looks like a tea apothecary. And he never puts them back where they belong." The journalists laughed, but Caitriona wasn't done. "It's not just the tea bags. It's the rituals, the muttering before takes, the little drumbeats on the table. It's like working with a wizard in training." By the next morning, the story had already begun to spread. Headline after headline appeared online. Caitriona Balfe reveals Sam Heughan's bizarre tea obsession. Inside Sam Heughan's secret on-set rituals. Fans were delighted. Memes appeared within hours. Sam as a mad scientist with boiling kettles, Sam as a tea wizard casting spells. But behind the scenes, Sam texted Caitriona with a string of laughing emojis. "Really, my tea?" he wrote. "You couldn't have said something cooler?" Caitriona replied, "You know it's true. You're the tea king." In the weeks that followed, more details emerged. Crew members began sharing their own stories, how Sam once shipped an entire case of rare Assam tea to the set in Prague, how he refused to rehearse a line until his mug was at exactly the right temperature, how he had names for his favorite tea blends: Battle Brew, Highland Spirit, Morning Outlander. "It's like a superstition," one assistant director told an online fan blog. "He says he can't get into character without the right tea. We've all just accepted it." For Caitriona, the reveal was half joke, half affection. After years of working side by side, she'd seen every side of Sam: the professional, the prankster, the late-night confidant. His tea obsession was just one piece of the puzzle. But now it had taken on a life of its own. Interviewers asked her about it on red carpets. Fans brought tea bags to conventions to give to Sam. A popular late-night host even staged a tea-off challenge between the two co-stars. During a promotional interview in Los Angeles, the host held up a giant photo of Sam's trailer, decorated with tea canisters, mugs, and kettles. "Sam, you've been exposed," the host said with a grin. "Caitriona told the world about your worst habit. Care to comment?" Sam laughed, his cheeks reddening. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said, reaching under his chair and pulling out a thermos. This is normal. Caitriona rolled her eyes, laughing along. Normal? He travels with a kettle in his luggage. The audience roared. The segment went viral. Sam and Caitriona both posted it on Instagram with winking captions. But privately, Sam began to wonder how far this exposure would go. Would fans start speculating about other habits? Would tabloids twist it into something darker? It started as a joke. At the next convention in New York, a fan presented Sam with a suitcase full of rare teas, laughing, "We heard you might run out." Sam smiled and signed the box. But then someone sneaked a photo of his actual trailer, the shelves lined with tea jars, and posted it on social media. The photo went viral overnight. #Teagate trended worldwide. Memes multiplied. Sam in a wizard hat, Sam stirring cauldrons of tea, Sam sleeping on mountains of tea bags. Caitriona texted him, "I think I unleashed a monster." Sam replied, "You think?" By week 2, the tabloids had moved in. A gossip blog posted a headline. Obsessed and out of control. Sources claim Sam Heughan's tea habit is affecting filming. The article, full of anonymous quotes, claimed Sam refused to work without his ritual and held up entire shooting days. Caitriona slammed the magazine on her kitchen counter. "This is ridiculous," she muttered to Robert, who happened to be visiting the set. "I made a joke. Now it's a scandal." Sam called her later that night. "They're saying I'm difficult," he said quietly. "Like I'm some diva. All because of tea." Caitriona's voice softened. "I'll fix it, I promise." The next morning Caitriona agreed to a live radio interview. When the host inevitably asked about Sam's worst habit, she leaned into the microphone. "It's not a bad habit," she said firmly. "It's a quirk. We all have our quirks. Sam's just happens to involve tea." The host chuckled. "So you're saying he's not holding up filming?" "Absolutely not," Caitriona replied. "He's one of the hardest working actors I've ever met." The clip spread across social media with the hashtag Team Sam. Fans began posting photos of their own rituals in solidarity. But behind the scenes, Sam and Caitriona weren't laughing. The constant questions had worn them down. On set one afternoon, Sam snapped, "You started this, you know." Caitriona froze. "I was joking, Sam." "I know," he said, rubbing his forehead. "I'm just tired of it." For the first time in years, they didn't share lunch together. The crew whispered. The chemistry that had fueled their work felt fragile. A week later, Caitriona came up with a plan. She pitched a charity event, the Tea Off, Sam vs. Caitriona. Fans could buy special tea blends, with profits going to a children's hospital. Sam hesitated at first but finally agreed. On the night of the event, Caitriona introduced him to the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, the Tea King himself." Sam walked on stage with a giant teacup prop and bowed theatrically. The audience roared. For the first time in weeks, Sam felt the tension lift. After the event, they sat backstage, sipping actual tea. "You know," Sam said, "I think you might have saved me there." Caitriona smiled. "Saved us both. It's just tea, Sam. People will forget." He raised his cup. "To tea." She clinked hers against his. "To friendship." 2 months after the Tea Off charity event, Caitriona and Sam were back on the Scottish set where their journey as co-stars had begun. The rolling hills were misty, the air damp with rain. Caitriona found herself remembering their very first table read years ago. Sam had been nervous, quiet, clutching a mug of tea like a talisman. She had teased him about it then, too. "You and that tea," she'd said. But in that moment, she'd also noticed the way he calmed himself with it, how it steadied his hands. She realized now, it was never just tea. It was a ritual, a piece of home, a small act of grounding in a world of chaos. That evening, after filming Wrapped, Sam knocked on her trailer door. "Can we talk?" She nodded and let him in. He sat down, his usual energy replaced with a quiet seriousness. "I owe you an apology," he said. "I was short with you. This whole tea thing, it's silly, but it's also personal. It's my way of coping. And when it turned into a meme, I felt exposed." Caitriona reached across the table. "Sam, I'm sorry too. I didn't think it through. It was supposed to be funny, not cruel." They sat in silence for a moment. Outside, the rain drummed on the roof. Finally Sam smiled. "So, no more secrets?" She laughed. "No more secrets." The next day, Caitriona posted a photo of her and Sam sitting on a wooden bench on set, each holding a mug of tea. Her caption read, "Sometimes a cup of tea is just a cup of tea. Sometimes it's more. Thanks for sharing your quirks with the world, Sam. #Team Sam #Team Cat." Within minutes, the post exploded. Fans flooded the comments with heart emojis, teacup emojis, and supportive messages. The narrative shifted from scandal to friendship. One fan wrote, "This is why we love you both. You're real." By the end of the season, Sam and Caitriona had created a new ritual. Every Friday after shooting, they invited crew members for a tea circle. They brewed different blends, swapped stories, and raised cups to the week's challenges. The tradition became so popular that even guest stars joined in. Someone joked they should publish a tea on set cookbook. Caitriona realized how something that had once threatened their bond had actually strengthened it. On the final day of filming, Sam handed Caitriona a small wooden box. Inside was a teacup with her name engraved on it. "It's our peace treaty," he said, grinning. Caitriona felt her throat tighten. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." They stood there for a moment, two actors who had weathered fame, rumors, and even a bizarre tea scandal, and had come out stronger, not weaker. Sam raised an imaginary cup. To the worst habit you ever exposed, Caitriona laughed. And to the best friendship it created.